All right, all right. Hey, hey. Good morning, sweetheart. Hi, Anisha Chatu. How are you, love? All right, let's get into this, shall we? This is going to be for our Cancerians. It is Saturday, so happy Saturday. I try to get you guys a video twice a week, and I aim for it to come out on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Obviously, some weeks we can't stick to a perfect schedule, but we try. But I think this week we made it. So we have a 10 of Cups here. 10 of Cups is love, it's happiness, it's togetherness, it's the family, it's the full like rainbows arcing across the sky. And there's something about it's time for this. Now, this is a plan that hasn't come into formation yet. We see it's still sketched out, kind of like somebody needs to go back through and now paint it all in. So I'm thinking that we've got someone who's like, you know what? The time has arrived. I know what I want. I know it would make me happy. And universe, I'm calling it in. So I think that hi, everybody. So great to see you all. Queen of Pentacles. I think that there's somebody who's like, I'm ready to put some money down on this. I'm ready to go ahead and really make this happen. I would just say this is investment, okay? I don't know if this is our Cancerian saying, yeah, I'm totally invested in the life that I want to have now. I can picture it, I can create it, I can think about it, and I can make this become my reality. 6 of Coins. My impression is we may be dealing with a divine feminine Cancerian. By the way, Cancerian could be like really artistic. They could be a costume designer, dressmaker, or they have like a love for like flouncy, multi-tiered skirts or dresses. Whether they're masculine or feminine is irrelevant. It could be because of the Queen. We could have a feminine, but I feel like this is Cancerian is like going from the visionary, dream state, idea state to let's make this a reality. And I'm picturing somebody who does like also could have a cake decorator who makes like doll cakes, with fancy dresses and stuff. But it's like I'm ready to actually be in a long-term commitment. Here I am. If I meet the right person, you better believe I will completely offer the right person my energy, my offer of my heart. Oh, a song came in and went right back out the other ear. We have a Knight of Swords. Okay, here's the thing. This all feels like this is Cancerian's story. This is a Cancerian who says, I have arrived at the point in my life where I'd be willing to like really commit to a long-term, very happy situation. I want to meet the happiest situation yet. Doesn't mean Cancerian hasn't had family relationships, things like that. But I'm saying this is going to be the one that they stick with for the long haul. And this is going to be the happiest one yet. I think Cancerian has reached a point where they're like, I have learned so many lessons about what it would take to really make a 10 of Cups because I learned everything that I need to have a 10 of Cups. And now I tell the universe I'm ready to share my energy with another person. My impression is this Cancerian could have chosen to be single for a period of time. Maybe they didn't feel like sharing their energy with anybody for a bit of time. I know it sounds specific, but I think this is a Cancerian who maybe already had a life, maybe was married, maybe had kids. Kids are, raised, gone, and now Cancerian is like on this second new beginning in their life. I mean, maybe third or fourth. We do have multi-tiers showing on that dress, and that could be for a reason. It could be like, no, I've had multiple different important relationships, but now I'm ready for the best one in my life. And I know what that means. It's going to be different than any other because I'm different than I used to be. And I'm ready to give and I'm ready to receive. Well, sometimes that's all it takes is for us to be really, really sure. I will say, reflecting, most times in my life, anytime I've been genuinely ready for whatever it was, genuinely looking for a specific thing. And I'm not talking about romance. I'm talking about like anything where it's like, okay, I'm ready for this next chapter of my life. I'm ready to move. I'm ready to embark on something new. That's always when it would like show up. Once I was like in head, heart, everything was all aligned. And I was like, yeah, I know that I'm ready for this. That's usually when change would occur for me. But I want to say maybe that's the way this is for our Cancerian, but it looks like somebody is riding their motorcycle right on into Cancerian's life. And this is a Knight of Swords. This happens fast. They could be a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Hi, everybody. Hi, night owls. How are you guys tonight? Page of Wands, Hanged Man. You know what's cute is if you look on this, we have this person in like kind of like a little, I'll say more along the lines of a Christopher Columbus style hat. I'm sorry, I don't know the name of that particular style hat off the top of my head right now. But this is somebody who's got, you know, their looking glass, their spy glass. This feels like, you know, an old-fashioned sailor who's been seeking a new place in their own life and they haven't found what they were looking for. And they're like, I'm not going to try to, you know, say that I'm going to settle down unless I see someone I'd want to settle down with. I kind of feel like that's going to be a terrific matchup for Cancerian's energy, because I feel like Cancer is only just now ready to genuinely call in who they want. This person feels like they have been every bit as, I'll say, selective. And, you know, on this page, we can just barely see him sketched out, standing there holding the spyglass with a couple different signs down below that say explore, going this way, travel, going the opposite direction. We have a compass underneath. I really feel like he's been out exploring, but looking for a place to like call home and hadn't found what he was looking for. So I think that explains why this person could still be single when Cancerian meets them, why this person, you know, didn't settle down in the wrong place with the wrong person. I feel like this could be a free spirit. He or she, we have a, you know, a boy here, so we'll say him, and because Hanged Man, they could be a Pisces as well as, you know, like I say, possibly a fire sign or that air sign. But they've taken time. And even here, if you look on the Hanged Man, we have like this glass, or I should say looking glass mirror that has like spider webs on, you know, that have covered it. So they've been looking for a long time and their heart has not been inverted and given to anybody yet. It's like, nah, I don't think that I want to hand it to anybody yet. I don't know if this person has ever fallen truly in love with anyone. They may be someone who has roamed the world. They may be very well traveled, but they are highly selective themselves. How is it that you're encountering Cancer? Are you literally riding your motorcycle on in? Are you new in town? 5 of Swords, King of Swords. This 5 of Swords is a little different than most because if you look, we actually have a chess game. So this person got fed up in whatever lifestyle they had been, you know, working in, whatever energy they had been, you know, whatever lifestyle they had been exploring. They got fed up somehow. And they're like, you know what? Checkmate on this. I'm out. I really feel like this is a character where they will test the waters with any given situation. They could have had a job. They could be extremely skilled. Lots of times I think characters that have like a, you know, a fearlessness about them, they're willing to explore. They probably are jack of all trades. They probably have a lot of different skills. And someone who is unafraid to quit and go find a different kind of a job if the job they're in isn't suitable, isn't being fair with them, or they feel like this is not conducive to me having a good life. I trust me. I've got great skills. I know I can go out and find a better job. I know somebody else will hire me because I have a lot to offer. Like that's how they feel to me. Yes, maybe a bit, not really brash though, and not arrogant because they're a king upright. All of these cards have been upright. None of these things look like this person is impatient. It looks like they trust themselves tremendously. I'm going to say they're new in town. I'm going to say they recently quit some job, ended something that they thought was like toxic or, you know, certainly I don't think this person suffers fools lightly. I don't think that they waste their time if they can see the writing on the wall. And it's like, look, I'm not here to make my life harder. If I have to negotiate continually for just basic, you know, fair treatment, I'm out. Go get some other sucker because I'm not one. And it just kind of feels like they move on. This feels like somebody who, yes, it's easier to have that attitude when they seem single, and they seem like they ride on a solo kind of smaller motorcycle, not one that's even got a two-seater. They don't have a sidecar. They don't, it's easier sometimes when we just have ourselves to be responsible for, where we can just kind of come and go as we choose and keep that ultimate freedom. But I will still say this person is not, they don't come across as somebody who has no, like compassion for others or no space in their heart for somebody else. It just says they've been highly discerning, that they're not going to commit themselves to anything that they don't actually feel they would want to commit to. Not a job, not a living situation, and definitely not their heart. They are a little clinical about things. How do you feel about Cancerian? Because it looks like, actually, let's change decks for them. Because it looks like they are entering into Cancerian's world when they are kind of footloose, fancy free, and, seemingly 7 of coins in the reverse. This is like, oh, you're just what I've been looking for. I feel like they know immediately that, maybe I've traveled the world. Maybe that's why I know a good thing when I see it. Maybe that's why this is like the, I'm hearing Nora Jones, the long day is over. Five of Swords in the reverse. They're also seeing Cancerian as somebody that they're like, I don't see hostility in you. I don't see arguments with you. I don't see power struggles with you. I don't see somebody who wants to create drama. I only see somebody who's stable. I see what I've been looking for maybe all this time. That's pretty lovely. That's remarkable. Six of Swords, High Priest, which in this deck, this is card 5. It's actually the Hierophant. They call him the High Priest here. I gotta say, this seems very sudden perhaps, but I think from the moment they meet Cancerian, especially if they're like new to town, and they're like, who knows, I might blow in like a tumbleweed and blow back out. I might stick around for a year, get a job. I feel like they might even work for themselves. They could do something that's quite cerebral, because this person comes across as really intelligent. So like their intellect could be their prime commodity. They could be somebody that, I'm thinking somebody who's like, they get hired for their brain, so maybe they do things, whatever, communications, computers type stuff, writing code. Maybe they're a consultant. They could do a lot of different things. But I feel like if they are someone who's going to like step into Cancerian's world all of a sudden, they have to have a reason to want to stay. Well, Cancerian is their reason. And I think it's kind of from the very beginning. This is them like giving up, already knowing in their heart, like I'm giving up the single life. I already know that something just shifted inside of me. This is like my higher self has spoken, and I think I'm finally ready to cross that bridge, the bridge that I haven't crossed yet, which is to actually, choose a partner, to choose to stay with a partner, choose to build with a partner. This is also a card of marriage. I think that this person was like, I'm not averse to marriage, but I'm certainly not going to go out and commit myself to someone unless, it's going to be forever and it's going to be the right person. And that's going to be a tall order to fill. And I kind of think that they held on to that opinion like most of their life and really meant it. Like, this is not somebody who makes lighthearted decisions. And I don't think that they, let me put it this way. This is a character who does change very well, but if it comes to their heart, they're not going to be making a change. This person is a Miguel song. This is sure thing, right? This is somebody who's not going anywhere. That's why they've taken so long. I think they will be literally one of the greatest partners ever because they have taken so long to like know unequivocally when they see something that is so different, so unique, and so much of what they were looking for. And it's like, I've looked around the world. I know exactly when I see, something really, really special. Sometimes it takes, let's stop thinking about it like a romance or a person. Let's instead say, if you are in any field, any industry, let's say, I think a geologist would be a great example. Geologists look at rocks all the time, and they can go out trekking about and they can, the longer they're a geologist and the more rocks they see and the more different places on this earth they travel, the greater variety they've seen, and the more they can see stuff that an untrained eye would not spot. They would be the ones who can find a fossil instead of just, thinking it's another rock. They would be the ones who, can identify if this is some very precious, gem or mineral, as opposed to what just appears to be not much of anything, unless it's, unless it was already tumbled and we could see it that way. So I feel like they've become an expert at recognizing incredible quality and recognizing, something very special when they spot it. Partly because they have been around the block a time or two. They have explored life. I think way better to have to meet a partner who has been highly discerning and who has chosen to be single for a longer period of time and who has learned what they're looking for so they know it when they see it, rather than somebody who's like, I don't know what I'm looking for, I'll just try anything. He does not strike me as one who tries anything. This is somebody who's unafraid of change, but this is also somebody who uses their intellect and like calculated risks and calculated decisions, and they have very strong opinions about what they want, what they don't want, and they don't ever settle for what they don't want. Very strong-willed person for sure. But you know what? It's exactly who we were describing Cancerian as at the beginning. I'm ready for my 10 of Cups. I'm ready to turn that into something tangible and real. I'm ready to give to somebody that is ready to give to me. I kind of think Cancerian is made of the same sense of stability and knowing oneself, and kind of like a will of iron, determined that I really want to be happy. I don't want to settle for what I don't want, but I am ready for what I do want. And it just kind of feels like that level of, this is not greedy or bossy with the universe, I want this, give it to me now. It's more like I am so ready because I know myself so, so, so well. No wonder that'd be a great match, a terrific match for our Cancerian in this. Is Cancerian going to recognize that they're very important right out of the gate as well? That this King of Swords is really important to Cancerian? Three of Wands, Hanged Man. Even though they came out as a King of Swords, we've seen the Hanged Man twice, once for them and once for Cancerian. So we could definitely say they could be a Pisces. The Three of Wands says it could take a little time. They may know immediately that they're interested in Cancer, but as far as Cancer goes, it could take a little bit of time. It might take 3 times for Cancerian to encounter this person. They may make an immediate impression, especially if they're pole dancing in their G-string. I'm not saying that. That's what they seem to be doing here. But this could also, it doesn't really look like a nightclub or anything though, does it? This could be somebody who simply is, an individual that Cancerian first sees. And it's like, that person is different. I feel like I'm seeing the real them. I feel like I'm seeing them through a different lens. But I almost think Cancerian is going to have to ponder who this person is. But I feel like they leave an impression right out of the gate for Cancerian. Cancer might meet them and then they go on a trip and then come back and see this person again. There could be like a gap in between Cancerian meeting them and then, seeing them again later. But I think even from first meeting, there's something there that clicks, like, I don't know who this person is yet, but I'm intrigued. I feel like this individual is going to be the one pursuing Cancer. That's what it feels like. They may be religious. It doesn't have to be, but we do have a decidedly tip of the hat to Catholicism possibly here. Does not have to be, but and their background, I feel like they've lived internationally. I keep feeling like they spent time working on a job site like Cambodia, Vietnam, Taiwan, something like, I feel like they've been around the world for sure. They may have worked in agriculture or even chemical type of, producing something or testing something, for agricultural purposes, for food growth, something along those lines as well. Just based off of the images that we see there, it seems like this person probably has a vast array of knowledge. I'm guessing that person probably has a degree in, like maybe chemical engineering as well as agriculture, as well as, I mean, heck, they could do things with like engineering and like infrastructure development too. Sorry, very specific messages on that, but sometimes we get that, so I just spit it out if I see it in our stories. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Really good to see you. I'm going to bounce on over to the other channel. If you guys are up late and feel like hanging with me over there on Case Regretless Life, I will probably, I have a feeling I'm going to go ahead and only do maybe one more. I was going to do zodiacs tonight over there, but my lungs are just a little bit bothered by the smoke that's in the air from some forest fires. So I may get some rest tonight so I can come back strong tomorrow. But anyway, guys, I'm so glad to see you tonight. Tammy Johnson, Orchid Rose, Lauren.co, and Anisha, of course, you were first in the house tonight. Ginger, great to catch you again tonight. Spam folder, hi. Hi, Cassie. Lulu, San Juanita, Cherry Coleman. Global Native, wonderful to see you. Love your name. I love your name. I always call myself a global citizen, so that's super, super appealing to me. I love it. Oh, that's awesome. You're on the east coast of Australia. That's so cool. Thank you so much. I love to know where everybody's at. It makes me feel like it's just like the world is a much friendlier place. I think it's really important to stay connected to each other. Sweet. Hey, hun. EM Bell. Empress Unicorn 111. Rachel's Magic. Hey, baby. Thanks again, EM Bell. All right, you guys. I'll see you in a few on the other channel. Take care. Bye.